for the U.S. in Libya is now winding down, but did President Obama overreach when he allowed American forces to intervene in the first place? Our next guest says it may even be an impeachable offense, and that's a quote. Ohio Congressman Denis Kucinich joins us from Washington this morning. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning. It's winding down, but we're paying for part of NATO's trip. We've got covert ops in there. We've got a lot of money and people in there.
And back to your comment about this being an impeachable offense. That was over 10 days ago now, and you know what your critics are saying, that this was just for drama, this is for headlines, to get on the media. That all worked, maybe to raise some money in Ohio. So why did you say that if you had no intention of bringing up an actual vote or trying to press for it?
Well, there's two different things here. One is to make a strong statement that the Constitution is being violated. That's indisputable.
Although the president did not declare war.
Over 200 missiles, dropping 2,000-pound bombs. You don't call that a war? Are you kidding? Look, he exceeded his constitutional authority. Now, it's one thing to say that that's an offense against the Constitution. It's another thing to say, let's start the process of impeachment, which is an altogether different thing, which involves presenting charges in the House, a trial in the Senate. I don't think the country is ready to go through that kind of chaos. But on the other hand, it is important to say, and it is true, that the president has exceeded his authority. We're on the verge of a government shutdown over financial issues, and the checkbook's open to finance a war in Libya. It's just wrong.
Right, and this is costing an enormous amount of our money to date. It's an estimated $550 million. As we go on, we're talking about an estimated $40 million per month.
The estimate was a week ago, by the way.
You want to defund this effort, our action in Libya. How much bipartisan support do you have for that, for taking away the purse strings?
I think if there was a vote today, it'd be very close. Members on both sides of the aisle are very concerned about the fact that the president took us into a war without consulting with Congress, that Congress is going to end up having to write the checks. People don't want our troops to go there. They know that would create even more of a problem. So I think that this is a fiscal issue. It's an issue of stretching our military too thin. It's an issue of exceeding of constitutional authority. It's an issue of putting this nation on a path towards an even expanded war. We're already paying for 2 wars, and this is a third. Look, this is wrong from the go.
But he is right, the president, in calling this a humanitarian disaster. Gaddafi was massacring his own people, innocent civilians. So what was the United States supposed to do in Libya, and what should we do in the region when we talk about Syrians being killed by their administration? Again, peaceful demonstrators. What should we have done there, and what should we do going forward?
Well, the same thing that we've done in Yemen, in Bahrain, and Syria, to not intervene in what is essentially an internal matter. You know, I think we ought to salute leaders who have humanitarian instincts. That's good. But we have to weigh the humanitarian situation with the possibility that intervention will cause even more civilians to get killed. And that's a call that the president made. But he made it without the Congress. And he had no constitutional authority to make that decision without taking it to Congress first.
All right, Congressman Denis Kucinich, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.